Hi, today I'm going to present a cutting game video for my homework in game design lesson. First, I want to say about the game components. There are 19 hexes, one of this dessert, 6 C-frame pieces, 9 harbor pieces, 18 circular number tokens, 95 resource cards being the symbol for the brick, grain, lumber, ore, and wool resources, 25 development cards, 14 night cards, in 6 progress cards, 5 victory point cards in 25 development cards. And we have 4 building cost cards, 2 special cards, longest road and largest army. And we have 16 cities, 4 of each color shaped like churches, 20 settlements, 5 of each color shaped like houses, 60 roads, 15 of each color shaped like bars, 2 dice, 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 rubber, and 1 game booklet. For the presenting, there are 4 players. I'm the red one. And in the beginning of the game gives us 2 settlements and 2 roads. And I will put 2 settlements and 2 roads. And the others, same. I want to roll the dice. 8. The total is 8. And blue and yellow, William and Candemer, as settlement, the diagonal of the 8. And they got 2 resources. One get ore, and 1 get lumber. And we can trade like that. Other players. I want to give 1 lumber and 1 brick. And 3 of them say, I don't want to trade with you. And we can trade with the bank. I can give 4 bricks and take 1 I want. If I don't have 4 components, so I cannot trade the bank. Today I want to talk about the elements of the game: aesthetics, mechanics, story, and technology. First one I want to say about the mechanics. And there's offer from William. He wants wool and ore. I want to say no. Mechanics are the fundamental structure of the Catan experience, how the game is played. While I was playing the game, and I will say about the elements of the game too, and I say no. The rulebook outlines a cyclical turn structure involving resource production, trading, and building. First one, resource production. Dice rolls determine which hexagons will yield resources, ensuring variability while maintaining probabilistic fairness. The most commons are numbers 6 and 8, which are colored red in the game. This randomness drives adaptation and risk management. Second one is trade. Player-to-player trade integrates social mechanics into economic play by encouraging negotiation between players. Trade with banks and codes maintains balance for the players, providing backup systems. Third one, building. Roads, settlements, and cities are the physical means of progress that expand the player's network. The nearest distance rule strengthens spatial combination, prevents conflict, and encourages strategic expansion. Fourth one, victory conditions. The game is won with 10 victory points, earned through settlements, cities, the longest journey, the largest army, or development cards. The combination of luck, skill, and diplomacy, and, for example, dice, placement, trade, creates a complex balance between randomness and strategy. Each round consists of 3 phases: resource rolls, trade, and construction. While dice introduce randomness, player choices introduce strategy. For the take the 10 victory points, each of the cities 2 points, the longest journey card 2 points, the largest army. And now I play the development cards, and I can choose 2 roads. For example, I want this, and my turn is over. And I roll dice. 2. I don't have resource. I want to build another road. And I take the longest road because I have 5 roads. And I want to do a settlement, but I do not have a wool. So I want to trade with them. But if I do not have a ore, so I cannot offer them a ore to get a wool. So my turn is over. 2 points. And we have development cards. For example, when we want a development card and we take a victory point, and we have 1 victory point. Or for the Largest army card, we should play 3 knights from the development cards. Or the longest journey, we should have 5 roads into the game. For example, on a 6 road, all players with settlements around the hexagon marked with the 5 collect resources from it. This randomness means players must constantly adapt, keeping the in-game tension high. Trade is another core mechanic. Because resources are unevenly distributed, players must interact. This transforms what could be a solid resource puzzle into a vibrant marketplace driven by persuasion, timing, and trust. You might say, I'll trade you lumber for bricks. But it's never just about resources. It's about timing, trust, and persuasion. And I want to roll dice to 11. And I want to build a settlement. So I say, I want wool. I give you grey. They say no. When the dice totals 7, the robber is activated. Players place the robber on another hexagon, randomly taking a card from the hand of the person holding that resource, deactivating that hexagon. Players with cards over 7 return half of their cards to the bank, which balance the game. For example, the other player have 8 cards and the sum of the dice is 7. He should give 4 of the cards to the bank. Building mechanics convert resources into progress, roads expand territory, settlements generate new income, and cities double productivity. This rule ensures spatial stability where no two settlements can touch each other, making the map a competitive challenge. Complementing this, development cards introduce asymmetry and hidden knowledge. And I want to show you another progress. I have 4 of the grain and 4 of the bricks. I can give 4 bricks to the bank and take 1 another resources from the bank. But I need a wool, so I want to trade again. For example, 1 brick, 1 grain. They say no. I want to show the 4 give brick and I will take 1 wool from the bank. Nice controlled robber, advancement cards create immediate advantages, and victory cards add tension. The victory point structure connects all subsystems into a single feedback loop. You can win through expansion, the longest road, militarization, the largest army, or cultural growth, development cards. This flexibility encourages a variety of playstyles and reflects different paths of civilization. Catan's mechanic therefore elegantly balanced luck, logic, and diplomacy by modeling an economy of limited resources and interdependence. Second one, I should want to explain the story part. Catan's story dynamically evolves throughout the game, not through a pre-written narrative, but through the rule. The basic premise is that settlers discover and colonize a new island rich in resources, bricks, lumber, or grain, wool. However, the story unfolds differently in each game. There is no set settlement. This settlement is random. Players are invited to enjoy the new lands together, emphasizing cooperation and exploration over conflict. And I want to show another again. And I want to build a settlement. For example, I can put it there, put it there, put it there. But I want to take the wool, so I put it to the there. And say my turn is over. Each player's experience of expansion, famine, and trade transforms into a unique narrative of discovery and negotiation. Players' trade and the game's social storytelling emerge from interpersonal dynamics, alliances, betrayals, and agreement creates the real drama. Catan's narrative is a social and economic story written collectively through the players' actions rather than a fictional narrative. Catan isn't tied to a fixed storyline, meaning there are no heroes. The rulebook begins with the phrase, have fun settling these new islands together, creating an atmosphere of exploration and shared adventure. The dice rolls determine which land is fertile, and players decide where to expand, and together they weave a story, a competition, and cooperation. And as you can see, Kingdom takes the longest road from me, because I have 5, he has 6. And I want to take back to the longest road card. I should have 2 another roads from the, I want 7. And he has an offer. I said, yes, no. And it's my turn. I'll roll the dice. 8. They take the resources. I have not a settlement in the ore, so I should take ore from the trade, or I would build a road to and to put a place to put settlement from the diagonal of the hexagon and take a ore. One player who starts out isolated may later become a powerful trader. Another may control mountains but run out of grain. These turning points, driven with dice, strategy, and trade, create a dramatic sequence of events reminiscent of literature, escalating tension, conflict, and resolution. The rubber piece also adds a social plot. The rubber and the dice symbolize the obstacles of nature in settlement stories, revealing conflict and unpredictability. When someone rolls a 7, the rubber obstructs production and allows theft, symbolizing misfortune, combination, sabotage, and greed. It transforms economic combination into a narrative event. Thus, the story of Catan is told not through words but through relationships. Who formed alliances, who traded, who betrayed, and who ultimately achieved 10 victory points. Each game becomes a miniature story of settlements and survival. Trading with a bank for 4 available resources can be like to a society taking its surplus valuable jewelry to the bank and converting it into foreign currency. This decrease in exchange rates near the cross symbolizes trust. The longest road points to the extent of a country's borders and the strongest military strength of its country. And third one, I want to talk about the aesthetics. The feeling of the game is what people often remember most, and Catan's aesthetic design is intentionally warm and interactive. The visual palette of yellow, green, brown, and blue evokes a pastoral island that draws the player in and is not hostile, as you can see. The visuals of each hexagon instantly convey its identity. Forests yield timber, hills yield bricks, fields yield grain, mountains yield ore, and pastures yield wool. It's a harmonious reflection of function and beauty, allowing players to intuitively read the board. The modular layout of 19 hexagons surrounded by a C-frame changes each game, allowing visual variety to coexist with narrative variety. This fosters a sense of discovery. And I wanna take development card. Or I want a brick to build a settlement. First, I want to trade. They say no. So I take a development card. Knight. I can play this card the next turn. I want to continue. Catan also exists in tactile aesthetic. Wooden elements shaped like houses, roads, and churches allow players to physically enact the game. The colors of the dice and the shuffling of the cards create a sensory rhythm that complements attention and satisfaction. Beyond sight and touch lies the third aesthetic layer, social interaction. Since success depends on exchange, art can lead to winning the game through conversation and emotional interaction. The player's frustration when the robber takes excess resources and bargaining while choosing cards are the social interaction of the game. The crowd around the table embodies enthusiasm, excitement, sadness, and happiness. Aesthetic decisions combine to create what game designers call tangible emotion and community. Players don't just watch the story, they construct it with their own hands. Catan's aesthetic is one of the biggest reasons it's timeless. Time flies. Going over it step by step, first I want to explain visual aesthetics. The hexagonal board creates natural, mosaic-like island in each game. Each terrain, forest, hill, mountains, fields, pasture, desert, has its own unique textures and colors. It welcomes the user with a warm day. And second one, physical aesthetics. Wooden elements, roads, settlements, steels, provides tactical satisfaction when building. It's an action that mimics physical world building. The use of dice and cards mirrors traditional board games. Third one, social aesthetics. Negotiation and communication make the game performative. Facial expressions, persuasion, and humor enrich the experience beyond the table. In this way, we play it technological way, but the game has a board game too. For the humor and persuasion, we can play with the board game. The shared board encourages mutual engagement. Everyone follows the same evolving character. Catan's aesthetic creates the immersion through feeling, color, touch, and human interaction. And the fourth one, I want to talk about technology. The technology in a game refers to the systems and materials that make it function. As its core, Catan embodies analog engineering. The board frame prevents slippage, cards track resources, and thus randomly order events. And I can play in this turn. I can play knight, and I can build a settlement road. I want to select position or settlement. One position I have. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And I will say that I'm using the knight. And the game says that from which player do you want to steal? I say random, Vincent. And I take ore from it and say end my turn. And I want to keep going. Collectively, these three components perform what software would in a digital game manage probability, inventory, and rules. However, these are entirely handled by human action in a board game. This physical technology is deliberate. It focuses on player decisions, not automation. The tactical feel of the tiles creates the interface. Over time, Catan has expanded to a digital platform such as Catan Universe, Catan VR, and mobile apps. These adaptations utilize code to replicate analog systems while providing convenience, automated resource distribution, online matchmaking, and visual animations. But even in virtual form, the core technological ideology remains unchanged. The system is merely a framework for human strategy and emotion. Technology never replaces player connection. It merely facilitates it. This is why Catan has evolved over the decades. Its design is technological, simple yet conceptual timeless. Catan's technology begins with its analog design. The pieces, cards, and dice operate like a perfectly calibrated mechanical system. It's low-tech but cleverly designed. Analog technology basic games. The physical system, dice, cards, hexagons, is a type of technology that manages probability, chain, memory without digital assistance. The board frame provides stability and recognitionability. It has an elegant mechanical interface that physically encodes replayability. For the digital versions, modern adaptations like Catan Universe and Catan VR reproduce these mechanics through code and algorithms, automating dice rolling and resource management. And I will say about it, William take the longest army because he played 3 knights and offer a trade. I don't want to accept it. I have 5 road, 1 knight, so I want to take the largest army. I should put 3 knights too, and if it's 4, I will get the card. Yet, even digitally, technology continues to serve the social system. The game relies on communication, strategy, and luck, not high-tech visuals. Concepts like the filling of the dice and the emotional connection between players are missing in a digital system. Catan's technology design is minimalist yet highly functional. It consists of an analog system that is robust enough to be converted into digital form without losing its human essence. It is generally preferred as a board game. And I want to trade with the bank. And I want to put a road. And it's my end my turn. And the game keeps like that. I say the elements of the game from the mechanics, technology, story, and aesthetic parts. And the game is going like that. One game can 1 hour, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. It depends on the player's speed. And the other card, as you can see, he selects 2 resource cards from the supply stacks. It's a development card. And the game is like that. Thank you from the listening by me.